There will be no meeting between Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Syria's Bashar al-Assad at an upcoming summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) in September, Turkey's foreign minister has said. Speaking to the Haber Global news broadcaster in the capital Ankara on Tuesday, Mevlut Cavusoglu ruled out a meeting between Erdogan and Assad at the summit slated for September 15-16 in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, adding that Assad was not invited to the event. He also underlined that steps must be taken for lasting peace in Syria, adding that the regime should not see the opposition as terrorists. From the very beginning, Turkey said that the most important process is the political one, he said. Turkey follows a results-oriented policy in Syria, Cavusoglu noted, stressing the importance of the country's territorial integrity and the need to clear terrorist organizations from it. There are no preconditions for dialogue, but what is the purpose of the talks? The country needs to be cleared of terrorists, our border security is important, and Syria's territorial integrity and political integrity are important. It is important that people can return to the country safely. It's not necessarily a requirement, but what are its purpose and goal? Our Syria policy is always solution-oriented, he added.
Malaysia's highest court has upheld former Prime Minister Najib Razak's 12-year jail sentence for corruption in the 1MDB financial scandal. We find the appeal devoid of any merits. We find the conviction and sentence to be safe, Chief Justice Maimun Tuan Mat said on Tuesday on behalf of a 5-judge panel. Based on the foregoing, it is our unanimous view that the evidence led during the trial points overwhelmingly to guilt on all 7 charges. Maimun said, "It would have been a travesty of justice of the highest order if any reasonable tribunal, faced with such evidence staring it in the face, were to find that the appellant is not guilty of the 7 charges preferred against him." The federal court decision was handed down after the tribunal threw out a last-minute move by Najib's lawyers to recuse the Chief Justice from hearing the case, alleging bias on her part. Najib is a UK-educated son of one of Malaysia's founding fathers who had been groomed for the Prime Minister's post from a young age.
A lawmaker from the Hindu Nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) has been arrested for making derogatory remarks about Prophet Muhammad, which sparked large protests in Hyderabad city in India's southern Telangana state on Monday night. According to Hyderabad police, Thakur Raja Singh, the BJP member of the State Legislative Assembly, was arrested on Tuesday morning after multiple cases were registered against him in different locations in the city. "We have apprehended him. Further details will be shared soon," Joel Davis, a senior police officer in Hyderabad said. On Monday, Singh released a video showing him making derogatory comments about Prophet Muhammad. Subsequently, protests broke out in different parts of Hyderabad on Monday night, with protesters demanding action against him.
Former President Trump and his legal team filed a motion Monday evening seeking an independent review of the records seized by the FBI during its unprecedented and unnecessary raid of Mar-a-Lago earlier this month, saying the decision to search his private residence just months before the 2022 midterm elections involved political calculations aimed at diminishing the leading voice in the Republican Party, President Trump. According to the motion filed Monday evening in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, Trump and his legal team are seeking an order to appoint a special master to review the records obtained during the search, blocks the further review of seized materials by the government until a special master is appointed, requires the Justice Department to provide a more detailed receipt for property and requires the government to return any item seized that was not within the scope of the search warrant. Trump said Monday evening the motion is strongly asserting his rights, including under the Fourth Amendment of our Constitution, regarding the unnecessary, unwarranted, and un-American break-in by dozens of FBI agents, and others, of my home, Mar-a-Lago, in Palm Beach, Florida.
Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry's office participated in multiple discussions with left-wing environmental groups that appeared to inform policy-making decisions, according to emails shared with Fox News Digital. Officials in the SPEC office sought to discuss key agenda items as recently as December with non-governmental organizations like the Sierra Club and the United Nations Foundation, according to documents obtained by government watchdog Protect the Public's Trust and shared with Fox News Digital. The documents, which were obtained via information request, did not show any similar conversations or meetings with fossil fuel energy groups or companies. You'll see from the participants list that there's a lot of interest in this conversation. Alden Mayer, a climate policy consultant and senior associate at the Green Group Third Generation Environmentalism, wrote in a May 2021 email planning a Zoom call between environmental organizations and SPEC officials. Mayer's subject line was titled Zoom Info and Topics for Tomorrow's G7 Discussion, and the email copied 4 SPEC officials whose names were redacted and leaders of 13 environmental groups. The email, which came weeks ahead of high-level G7 meetings in the UK, included various topics the parties planned to discuss during the virtual call.
Be aware. With the World. APN. Broadcast Service.